Good morning, everybody. It is 7:34 a.m., September 8th, 2017. Right off the bat, we have had a major earthquake off the coast of Mexico. Tsunami warnings all over the place. I have a buoy map pulled up. Excuse me. Okay, so these buoys that you see activated here all are sensors, and they react based on the rise and drop of the ocean. Some of these were detecting 3 feet. I haven't had a chance to really look into this. A lot of times when we get these warnings with tsunamis, they usually come and go quick, unless we're talking above an 8.0. Now, guys, really quick with earthquakes. In order to have an 8.0 earthquake, this was even recorded as an 8.1, 8.2, even some 8.4. Guys, in order to have just an 8.0 earthquake, that's the equivalent of having 10 7.0 earthquakes. So every magnitude you move up, if you have a magnitude 1 earthquake, in order to get a 2, you need 10 ones. In order to get a 3, you need 10 twos. That's the amount of force generated. So people think an 8.1 to an 8.2 isn't a big deal. That is a huge deal. That is a massive difference, and that's why this earthquake is such a big deal. I'm seeing some pictures. I'm not sure which ones I'm allowed to use and which ones are not, but this seems like a Yahoo News website. Here's just some of the buildings. They have collapses. They've reported, I think, 10 deaths as of right now. Tsunami waves reaching more than 3 meters above the tide level are possible along the coast of Mexico. And guys, these things bounce. So if there were, let's see, oops. If there was a tsunami that came off of this earthquake, these things are known to go across the ocean and then bounce off the coast and then come back the other way. I think these are being set off because of the hurricanes. I may be wrong, but this is what I'm seeing right now. Very wild, guys. 8.1, 8.2, 8.0, devastating. Last time they had one like that, it was a tremor in 1985, killed thousands of people. Again, they said about 10 deaths as of right now. I'm sure that number will rise. I hope it doesn't. But guys, we've got some crazy natural stuff going on. All right, let's move on to, here's our latest satellite of Irma. And here's Jose. Here's the letter K. I'm still working on my pronunciations, guys. I'll get it, don't worry. Hopefully by the time I even figure out how to say this, it's gone. It is starting to move across the west coast of Mexico, or heading west over Mexico, I'm sorry. And guys, we have tropical depression and possibly now tropical storm Lee forming right behind Jose. So we are going to have possibly 4 active hurricanes at the same time. We have 3 right now. If K ends up breaking up and leaving, we will have Irma, Jose, and then Lee. We are watching Irma very closely. I will be leaving for a little while until about 12 or 1 o'clock, but I will have an update for you guys then. As of right now, here are the time maps. Saturday, 8 a.m. is expected landfall. If you notice, guys, these maps, especially the Euro model and the GFS, I'll show you that in a second, has shifted even more west, putting these crazy, very dangerous, strong winds over the entire south tip of Florida. That goes for the Keys too. Guys, if you are still in these areas, you need to leave immediately. Bring everything you need with you and go. There's no telling when you're going to be allowed back there. Guys, this is your life we're talking about here. There's no messing with this, okay? Here is a dual projection with Jose and Irma. Again, these times, the times are a little different. I even checked the map times. Some of these are saying a little after 8 a.m. on Saturday. Some are saying the day on Saturday. Some are saying even as late as 2 a.m. Sunday. I guess it depends on the type of speed it picks up in these warm waters and what's going on with the jet stream. That's a big deal. If you can see here, I showed you this map yesterday. You get a really good look at the cold front that just passed over the east coast of the U.S. Check this out. See the blue here? That's what everyone's talking about on the weather channels and stuff like that about where Irma's going to turn. Irma's been making this northwestern approach. It's been doing little swoops north, a couple dips down south, and that's why everyone's on their toes about this, guys, because it's just bouncing into this area and they just don't know which way it's going to start moving. Someone made a good point in the comments in the other video. Picture yourself on a putting green. and you're aiming for a putt, if you just aim 1 inch the wrong direction, you might miss by 5 or 6 inches depending on the length of the putt. So little changes early on here down in this area make big differences here. And when we're talking about a state like Florida, guys, in an eye wall that's about 70 miles wide, and then gale force winds 70 miles, 75 miles outside that, we're talking a lot of devastation in Florida if this thing were to go right up the middle. Okay, they haven't changed anything for Georgia or South Carolina. South Carolina, you guys need to be ready to evacuate the second you are told to do so, especially around the coast. Charleston, areas like that. North Carolina, same deal. I mentioned yesterday, you guys need to follow your local weather and you need to check the websites for the evacuation routes. That is my advice. No one can force you to leave, but guys, you need to understand this is your life we're talking about here. Very important stuff. Look at this. So we have Jose here, and Lee is beginning to turn even more. Check that out. So this is Lee, or I'm sorry, this is Irma, Jose, and then you'll see Lee starting to form right out here. This group of thunderstorms comes down here, and then we have the spin. I'm not sure what these little anomalies are with the lines. I think it's just glitches in the graph, but we can clearly see this thing taking shape now. So this is a tropical depression, will be a tropical storm, and the name of it will be Lee. So we have 4 storms going on in the Atlantic, guys, as we're all on our toes waiting for Irma. Let's see, buoys, we covered that, we covered our timeline. All right, I think we got through everything we wanted to cover for the morning. Guys, major story right now is that Mexico earthquake and Irma. I'm going to keep all the information I can going on the earthquake as well as what's going on. Here is the GFS right now, guys. Look at the shift it's made west. I'll bring you to Thursday. Here's Friday, still in between in these warm, warm waters. Now, guys, really quick, the earthquake has died down a bit, but that shouldn't even be a thought in your head about something dying down. We are still at 155 to 160 mile an hour winds. That's a category 4. 925 as far as the pressure goes, west northwest, 16 miles an hour. Okay, so this thing is moving. It's still keeping its speed. We need to see what happens when it hits these warm waters. This thing may rise. This was on the Weather Channel as well. This thing may strengthen back to a 5 before hitting southern Florida. Guys, that would be completely devastating, and that's why people need to leave the state of Florida. I understand it's a lot to evacuate an entire state, but this is what needs to happen. Florida's just one of those states where it's thin and it's long, and the path of this is showing right up the spine of it now. So I don't think anything should change with North and South Carolina and Georgia. They need to be on alert and prepared to evacuate. I know places in Georgia are being evacuated. Guys, better safe than sorry. We got to do this the right way. Here's K storm. Again, this storm is moving out this way. We have our front, which I showed you on this map, shows a good one. This front is coming like this, and that's causing a lot of high pressure. So Irma's going to come up, and this high pressure line is going to make a decision, or Irma's going to make a decision based on this high pressure line. Here's the storm moving out. I showed you yesterday Irma actually sucking up some of the cloud cover, some of it being moved out onto this jet stream area. And that's where we're at now, guys. So it'll be about 5-6 hours before you hear from me again. I will have updated info for you then, and I'm keeping a close eye on this new storm Lee. Also, really quick, before I let you go, Hurricane Jose. If you notice this one, Jose is expected to come out this way, but if you watch on Ventu Sky, watch what Jose does here. Here's Saturday. Here's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's starting to circle around in the Atlantic Ocean. Now that's very interesting. I'm not sure if it's actually going to do that or not. Right now the paths are showing it coming this way, and that's where they stop as far as the timeline. This looks into the future. Obviously, after 5 days, it's a coin toss. Here is Lee forming down here, so that's expected to form. Here's another little system here, guys. This is some pretty wild weather we're having on top of fires in Montana and California and a major earthquake in Mexico. Again, I will be telling you more about that, but here's our latest data, guys. Pretty wild stuff. Those of Florida, Good luck to you all. I will be on top of this all over the weekend. I don't have to work, which is great, so I could focus on this stuff. And guys, that's it for now. I hope you have a good morning, and we will update later on in the afternoon. Thank you very much.